Lonely Monk Productions.
But you are too new with Nate Rules.
Welcome to Too Old, Too New, the music discovery podcast that brings you something old, something new, something Nate, something Bruce. I'm Nate Runkle, host of the Yo, That's My Jawn podcast, and with me, as always, is my good friend Bruce Warren from WXPN. The premise of this show is simple. Each week, we bring you two songs apiece. One new song that's been metaphorically spinning our turntable platters, and one old song that we believe still absolutely matters. All right, sometimes you get a little twisted, but
Nate, I enjoy trying to throw you off your beam, man. Yeah, what can I tell you? You hit that beam pretty solidly all the
you
time.
you did the Bullwinkle 2 weeks ago got me. That one almost got me there. That was a little trip up, but hope all's well, man. The weather's better, and we're about to enter the concert year of.
Thank goodness the weather's better for
Yeah.
sure. For
I-
sure.
This cold weather this year, for some reason, has affected me in a way that I've never felt so cold in my life, and like I didn't realize I moved to Alaska, but that's it happens.
Nate, I hate to tell you this, but it's because you're getting older.
Yeah, I thought so. Yeah, I assumed.
You know.
I assumed. Yeah, it's all right. I don't mind getting older. It just it adds character, right? That's.
I keep the fucking heat on all the time in my house. My wife is like, even during the summers. No, I was just kidding.
Well, you
I
are
see.
you are a sweatshirt all year guy, though. Like
I am a sweatshirt all year guy, absolutely. But I also like to rock the shorts even during the winter. So, I send out confusing fashion and weather communication to the family sometimes, but we do the best we can because we're rock and roll. Okay.
That's right. You contain multitudes. I get it.
So we got some really cool shit again this week for y'all.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll get started with my new because this is from an album that I had been waiting for. It was one of my I say this a lot about a lot of things, is one of my most anticipated albums of the year. I like music. I don't know what to tell you. I anticipate a lot. But it's the latest album from Julian Baker and Torres called Send a Prayer My Way. Ever since I first heard Sugar in the Tank, that they released, like last fall, I guess, is when they dropped the single. I was like super excited for this project, and it did not disappoint. I've been listening to it all weekend, like nonstop. Like it's a borderline obsession. It's just so good, and it kind of fills a space that I've been looking for, because past few weeks have been a little not dry, but like nothing has really, like, I've not obsessed over any that much, but this super excited me because it's got a country air to it. And one of my favorite songs on it that I brought today for my pick is The Only Marble I've Got Left, which is the second track on the album. And let's listen to a little bit, and then we'll talk a bit about it.
Oh, 'cause I like trouble too. I'll keep your vase full of fresh flowers, and I'll meet you eye to eye. I'll love on your parents and never tell a lie. I'll keep the tables turning, and I'll always do my best to hold on tight to the only marble I've got left.
And that's The Only Marble I've Got Left. I just absolutely, I'm a sucker for harmonies and like a vocal duo. Like that's just especially with the kind of with a kind of lament in your lyrics. Like that's just coded into my DNA, and absolutely killer. Album and song produced by Sarah Tudson from the Illuminati Hotties. Doing work, man, just out here hustling. I don't know if you saw the Tiny Desk that they just Illuminati Hotties just did. Absolutely
I did.
phenomenal. Check
It was
that out if you listeners, if you haven't seen it. But yeah, man, have you listened to the album at all yet?
I have. It's as Jim Lauderdale says, now that's Americana.
Hell yeah.
It's beautiful. It's it's evocative. It's there's a timeless quality to it, which is really incredible. And the lyrics are like, this is one where you got to read the lyric sheet because they're they're quite crafty. So and they sound beautiful together.
Yeah,
So
absolutely. It's great, and I'm excited to possibly. I haven't bought tickets yet, but possibly see them when they're at FDR this summer with Lucy and
yeah,
forget
that'll
who.
be a great show. And already people are like, maybe there'll be a Boy Genius reunion. Blah 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 blah. Maybe. I'm not going to be in town that weekend. I'm bummed because I'll be at Newport.
Oh, right.
But they may be at Newport. Who the fuck knows? I'll look at the schedule as we get a little bit closer. But you should go because that's going to be a great thing. That's the Connor Barwin's Make the World Better Foundation benefit. And he's a huge music fan, and he's doing great work for neighborhoods in Philly. And the lineup is just fantastic. So good stuff. Good
Yeah,
stuff.
and you got something exciting for your new.
Yeah, late breaking. In fact, I texted Nate and you this morning a few hours ago and said like, "Well, time to recalibrate because there is a brand new fucking record from Alice Cooper coming." Actually, the first single is here. It came out today. And listen, back in the day, I grew up in the '70s. I went to high school in the mid '70s. I was a quiet Alice Cooper fan because most of my friends in the '70s were sort of into like the Grateful Dead and the singer-songwriter thing. So I kind of secretly had to like listen to my, heavy metal, hard rock, whatever glam or like, pre-glam rock records, kind of by myself. Don't feel too bad for me. But I was, in the early '70s, when I got into high school, Billion Dollar Babies was the jam. It was a great record. Anyway, yeah. Um, um, Alice Cooper, all the original members of the original band, except for one, Glenn Buxton, who passed away in the late '90s at a very young age, 49. Alice, Michael Bruce, who plays rhythm guitar and keyboards, Dennis Dunaway, and Neil Smith on drums, back together again on a new record, and it's called "The Revenge of Alice Cooper." Come on, right?
It's
Come
amazing.
on. Let's go. Let's do it. This is Black Mamba.
Too much. I think I'll hide inside your bed sheets, coiled into the folds so white. I'll just watch you while you're sleeping, baby, and decide if I should bite. Yeah, 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 yeah.
Unbelievably great. And I sort of buried one of the, I guess, more marketable things about this new song is that it features one of the guys from The Doors.
Yeah,
Believe it or not, come on, man. I love it. Robbie Krieger of The Doors plays guitar on this record. So it's just great, and it sounds great, and it just sounds like vintage Alice Cooper. So
it really
there you go.
does. It
Yeah,
like not just in songwriting and all, but like even just the tempo to it, like
yeah,
just
totally.
feels like early Alice Cooper, and it just like, man, was I excited when I hit play on that today? That was just
Yeah,
absolutely fantastic.
yeah, definitely. God bless Alice Cooper.
Still doing
What
it,
can I tell you?
still going
You know,
strong.
and it's been 50 years or so. It's been a long time. Once again, proving what I've been saying for a while now is like which is like every band is getting back together again or making a record or like everybody is doing something. So it's great. It's great. God bless rock and roll.
Hold my fingers, Uncle Tupelo. It's not going to happen. Whatever. I don't care.
No, that ain't gonna happen.
That ain't going to happen. Before we started here, I happened to come across something, and I told you I wanted to kind of yuck about it a little bit. But YouTube is celebrating 20 years in something I saw today, and YouTube created by a guy who went to college with me. But I didn't know him. Like he was on the cross country team with a good friend of mine, and they still talk. And I'm like, can he hook it up? What's going on? Like, get our views up or something? I don't know. But they released YouTube's all time most viewed music videos. And Bruce has not heard this list yet, so this will be a surprise to him. And it was kind of a surprise to me because, oh boy. All right. So I'm going to speed through the 10 through 5, and then we'll get through 5 through 1 a little
Please.
slower. But number 10, One Republic Counting Stars with 4.1 billion views. Billion. Shakira's Waka Waka, This Time for Africa, with 4.2 billion views. Maroon 5, Sugar, with 4.2 billion views. El Chambo and the Dancing Green Alien with
Oh
Dame
my
Tu
God.
Cosita.
I totally forgot about that video.
5 billion views on that one. Number 6, Crazy Frog, Axel F, 5.1 billion
course.
views. All right.
Yeah.
Now, here are your top 5 all-time most viewed music videos on YouTube. Number 5, Mark Ronson featuring Bruno Mars, Uptown Funk. Totally makes sense. That's a wedding classic. I'll be hearing it for the rest of my life as I DJ weddings. I can accept that. All right. 5.5 billion views. Number 4 is Gangnam Style by Psy. Okay.
Right.
So now
That
we're
was
getting-
big. That was big.
It was big.
That was big.
5.5 bill on that. Number 3, Ed Sheeran with The Shape of You with 6.4 billion views. Right? These are insane numbers. Number 2, Wiz Khalifa, See You Again featuring Charlie Puth with 6.6 billion views. And your number 1 most viewed music video on YouTube, Louis
Wait.
Fonzi. Oh, I should have let you guess.
Again,
Damn it.
again.
Son of a
That's all
bitch.
right.
You're a
No,
better
go for
segment
it.
guy than me.
Go for it.
Louis Fonzi and Daddy Yankee with Despacito. And that
No
has
way.
8.7 billion views on it.
Oh my God.
It's unbelievable.
That's a lot of eyeballs.
It is. And you know what? This, I'm the positivity guy. What this tells me about this top 10 with as many people watching these songs, I don't think people really like music.
Wait, was it so Gangnam Style?
Yeah.
If I remember, over a decade ago, that became like the first video to hit 1 billion views. If I
think that's
remember
right.
correctly.
That sounds
if
right,
I remember
yeah.
correctly. Where's Shakira? Like, why isn't Shakira in this list?
She is. That was
Shakira-
number 9. That was
Oh, you
the,
did mention Shakira.
yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
right,
The
right,
World
right,
Cup
right.
song.
Right.
Yeah.
Wow.
Isn't
God
it? It's
damn.
just it's incredible. Like, and like, how did One Republic sneak on there? That's what I want to know. Like, everything else kind of makes sense. How did One Republic sneak on there?
Oh my God.
Or Maroon
Yeah.
5? It's not even good Maroon 5. What are we doing?
Yeah, seriously. Right?
It's scary. Well, what
Well,
are you going to
thank
do?
you for bringing out that very, very interesting slice of pop culture.
Well,
20 years YouTube.
Here's my question for you. If we were to look at your YouTube search history and we could find which music video you probably watched the most, what do you think it would be?
That's a really good question. It's probably, I can tell you, it's probably a Bruce Springsteen live video.
Yeah.
Probably. I'm going to tell you a little secret about me. I don't really watch a lot of videos.
Really?
You know, I never liked them because, well, I like videos, but I never was attracted to them because as a radio person, I always will typically judge a song by the audio and not the video, right? And I remember when videos started to become a thing, the promotional people in the industry would be like, "Oh, if you don't like the song that much, you got to see the video." And my response was always like, "Yeah, but our listeners are not watching the radio; they're listening to the radio."
Right.
And yeah, and also like I sometimes visuals, spoil a song for me, you know. So that's why I've never been like a super video watcher.
It makes sense. It makes sense.
There you go.
If it were
Yeah.
if it were mine, my number 1 would probably be Childish Gambino's "This Is America." And I say that because I think I watched that like 100 times in a row, trying to pick out all of the little Easter eggs and nuances in that thing, because that thing is like, that is chock full of references, and it's kind of a masterpiece of visual storytelling there.
Well, here's to the next 20 years
That's right.
on YouTube.
That's right. And, guys, if you don't know, you can find us on YouTube. You can watch the video for this on YouTube. I hope
That's
you
right.
subscribe to us.
Yes, please do. We
Um,
look pretty good, I got to tell you, in this video.
I
We,
agree.
you know, you know, I have to say that. I sound like an egomaniac, but like, I usually don't like to look at myself and stuff. But that's because the quality is so good, Nate. So there you
Oh, I love
go.
it.
Okay, so you ready to move on?
Yes. What's your old
Okay,
pick?
so I rolled out the new Alice Cooper, and I'm rolling out some old Alice Cooper for my old pick. No more Mr. Nice Guy. What a fucking song. What a freaking album. Billion Dollar Babies. I mentioned it earlier. That was, I was in 10th grade when that record came out. And man, did it rock my world. Um, and it was as big as you may have thought Alice Cooper was in 72, 73, or when After Schools out came out. 73, they were like kind of at the peak of their popularity. Just it was massive. And this is one of many reasons. 4 songs from this record were big hit songs. Um, and let's remind people what it sounded like. And for those of you who've never heard it, here is Nowhere Mr. Nice Guy by Alice Cooper.
Papers that can't be seen with me, and I'm getting real shot down, and I'm feeling mean. No more Mr. Nice Guy, no more Mr. Clean, no more Mr. Nice Guy. They say he's sick, he's obscene.
Hell
There
yeah.
you go.
Hell
No
yeah.
more Mr. Nice Guy. Hey, did you ever see? So, I'll try to keep this quick. Did you ever see the documentary about Alice Cooper's manager? His name was Shep Gordon. The documentary is called Supermensch: The Legend of Shep Gordon. Have you
I
ever seen
haven't.
that?
I haven't. But didn't Mike Myers direct that or something?
Yes. Yes, absolutely. So Shep Gordon managed Alice Cooper, Blondie, Teddy Pendergrass for a while, Pink Floyd. It is an incredible, incredible documentary about a incredibly successful, very unique, very esoteric, wacky dude. And he was an amazing character. It's highly worth seeking out. It's called Supermensch: The Legend of Shep Gordon. And if you've never heard Billion Dollar Babies, go listen to it.
Amazing. That song, "No More Mr. Nice Guy," reminds me of my buddy Keith that I grew up with. He had like a '73 Nova, and that was a song that was steady playing in the '73 Nova, almost at all times. So
That's Hey, that Nova rock. That's a genre of its own.
yeah, for
You
sure.
know, you've heard of
Uh-huh.
Camaro rock. There's Nova rock. So
Nova rock.
Alice Cooper's got a place on both of those playlists.
That's right. That's right.
All right, what do you got, buddy?
For my old, tying it back to the Julian Baker and Torres track, that song, the second I heard it, I thought, when it started, to be honest, I thought they were going into a cover when I was listening to it, because it reminded me so much of a Graham Parsons song from his first solo album, Graham and Emmylou doing a duet on "We'll Sweep Out the Ashes in the Morning," and let's listen to a little. Let's sweep a little ashes out right here on Too Old Too New.
We know it's wrong to let this fire burn between us. We've got to stop this wild desire in you and in me. So we'll let the flame burn once again until the thrill is gone. Then we'll sweep out the ashes in the morning. We're two people caught up in a flame.
Specifically in the harmony line of the last two, in this morning, and in "The Only Marble I Got Left," they hang on the note where your brain kind of wants you to go somewhere else, but they stay on the note, and that was like what dialed in on my head. Like I was just like, oh, this either is a reference, intentional or just spiritual. Absolutely, absolutely love that song.
You're a good listener, Nate.
Well, you know,
Sometimes you just got to listen to the music and hear this stuff.
Yeah.
I'm really glad you pointed out. I don't want to start any arguments about best harmonies, duets, and that kind of stuff, but these two right up there.
Oh my
Right up
God,
there.
yeah. I came into Graham and Emmy Lou kind of later in life. I guess not later in life. I was still in my 20s or whatnot, but in a very weird way, which was, you remember the film Almost Famous? So there's a deleted scene in Almost Famous where William Miller, who is the Cameron Crowe proxy in the film, is walking through the riot house, and he walks past a door, and there's two people singing in a room acoustically with each other, harmonizing, and it's Pete Druge and I forget the female vocalist, but they're doing Small Time Blues, Pete's song. And it was meant to be a reference to Graham and Emmy Lou, and I was like, oh, so there's more music like this, and then so that's how I got into it, and then became an absolute obsessive with Graham Parsons right after that, and so yeah, it was great. And then I just saw that Pete has a Substack, and I just followed him the other day, and that was really exciting.
Yeah. Yeah, he reached out to me a few weeks ago, a couple months ago. I haven't seen him since the '90s when he last put out some records. We are big fans. We played the heck out of Pete's songs back in the day here on XPN. But yeah, it's good to sort of see that he too has risen up on the stack.
Yeah.
So there you go.
Maybe a future episode I'll have to come through. Speaking of vocal harmonies, remember the Thorns that he put together with Matthew Sweet and Edwin McCain, I think, was it? Or no, maybe not Edwin. I forget who the third person was. Oh, that's
It's
gonna
right
drive
on
me
the tip
crazy.
of my tongue. It's right on the fucking tip of my tongue. Yeah, the Thorns. Yeah, they made one record,
Yeah.
if I remember.
I
Right?
remember, yeah, they have a great song that they wrote called Blue Sky, and then they
Yep.
also did a cover of the Jayhawks Blue, and I was
That's
just like,
right.
it's a lot of blue,
That's right.
guys.
That's right. Sean Mullins.
Sean Mullins, yes. I can see where I messed up and thought Edwin McCain. It's the
Don't.
M.
Yeah,
It's the
that's
M's.
okay.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
get it. I can't-
Camaro. It's all Camaro rock, dude.
That's
just,
right.
Just remember that. Just remember that.
All
All
of these
right.
songs, as always, will appear on our Spotify playlist, linked in the show notes. You can also find us on the internet, on the socials, on Substack. You can find Bruce at Some Velvet Blog. You can find me at Yo, That's My Jawn. You can hear Bruce every Saturday morning from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. on WXPN 88.5 here in lovely, wonderful Philadelphia. You can hear me every other week on Why Not Radio, whynotradio.net. And, of course, the Yo, That's My Jawn podcast should be coming back very soon, so keep an eye out for that. Yeah, man, we do these things. I got to tell you, thanks to you, I'm going tonight to see Joey McIntyre at the TLA. So,
Okay. All right. I gotta
Really-
keep. What can I tell you? Got to keep you up to date, man. Got to keep you relevant. you know?
Well,
It's
see,
awesome.
I was on the fence until about 20 minutes ago or 30 minutes ago when I saw on StubHub a ticket for $22, and I was like, oh,
All
well,
right.
then now I got to go.
Okay. Well, I want to review next week. We can give us the headlines. What did Jackie Gleason used to say? Do you remember the Jackie Gleason show? No.
I'm not.
No,
from-
you're too young. You're too young. All right, well, that's it for this week, but away we go. Good to see
I
you,
love
Nate.
it. Good to see
You
you,
like
too.
that?
I like that
All
a
right.
lot.
Peace out. See ya.
Too Old, Too New with Nate and Bruce is a Lonely Monk production, produced and hosted by Nate Runkle and Bruce Warren. Please be sure to rate, review, and subscribe to the show on your podcast provider of choice. If you have any music you think we should hear, or if you would just like to reach out to us, please feel free to email us at toooldtoonewmusicpod@gmail.com. And as always, thanks, and we will catch you next time.
Come on.